and welcome to Community Connections. I'm Marnie Yule, your host, Prescott Valley Chamber of Commerce, and we've got a great show for you today. So we're going to get right started. My first guest is Alex Heineman. He's the interim CEO with Boys and Girls Club, one of our organizations near and dear to our heart. Love our campus over here in Prescott Valley. So welcome, Alex. How are you?
Thank you very much. I'm very well. How are you, Marnie?
I'm very good. Good to have you. Well, we're going to talk about this year's Dancing for the Stars.
That's right.
We were sharing that I was in the first Dancing for the Stars, and I was the first dancer to take the stage on Dancing for the Stars. You talk about, a big deal,
Pinnacle
being
moment.
the first one out there, but it was a lot of fun, and it's continued on since then. Little hiatus during COVID, obviously, as we all did, but was back bigger than ever. I see your cast of stars and your pros, and what a night you've got planned.
Yes. We have 2 nights planned. We have our opening show on Friday and our VIP show on Saturday. We decided to add the Friday show because we know a lot of folks would love to just come out and see the show.
Right.
And so that is our more affordable show. Everything's still a donation. We have $50 tickets on sale for Friday. And Saturday, if you really want to get up for the glitz and glam and dress all the way up for the VIP event, that's a wonderful Saturday night show. We have seats available on both nights.
Right, so the Friday night show is $50.
That's right.
And then the VIP.
And Saturday's going to be $250.
$250. But again, it all benefits the Boys and Girls Club.
That's right.
So tell us a little bit about how you picked your stars. I mean, obviously they've been out there busy fundraising. I've got to give a shout out to our councilwoman, April Hepperly, Dancing with J.C. Lawler. Good friends, both of them good friends of mine.
Yeah.
But excited to see her take the stage, and I know she, along with Matt and Matt Sloan. I mean, you have a great cast.
We do. We're really excited about this year's cast of dancers. April has been wanting to do it since Mayor Cal graced the stage, and she's been practicing. I think she's been practicing all that time. And when we try and select them, we look at different circles of the community, specifically fundraising initiatives based around those circles, but we try and give a little flavor of each piece of the community.
The diversity is so well represented. I mean, elected officials as well as business entrepreneurs. I see, PR, San Martin is there.
That's right, yeah.
Business people, so it's such a variety.
Yeah, we usually, almost every year, I think it's tradition now to have a realty executive in Dancing for the Stars, and we have 2, we have 3 with April. And it's really exciting to have them all there, and they're grinding away, and they're learning the steps and bringing in the sponsors all at the same time throughout this entire summer. So it's amazing what they do.
Well, this has turned out to be one of your major fundraisers.
Yes.
So let's talk about what the proceeds benefit.
Sure. So it is our premier fundraiser, and this year it's our only fundraiser, and it's grown to be bigger than we could ever imagine, and it supports the kids directly. That's what it does. It hits our bottom line so that we can bring new programs and bring on more staff to accommodate as many kids in our clubs as possible. And it fits the budget so that we can continue doing what we're doing for Prescott and Prescott Valley. Yeah,
let's talk a little bit about Prescott Valley. I understand the little expansions going on there.
That's right. The remodel just finished its first phase, so it's construction phase, and now we're occupying it. We brought the kids back from Mountain View Elementary. Thank you, HUST, for letting us rent the space. So the kids are in there, and that's helping us and the designers get around the second phase of wall graphics and curriculum developed as art within the building, and all sorts of new design features to really make it cutting edge and exciting and approachable for the club kids specifically, but it's also another facility for Prescott Valley. And that's one thing that we always need to hold on to, is that the town has helped us so much with that remodel and that club, that it's for the club kids during club hours, and it's for Prescott Valley outside those hours.
Oh, you have a beautiful gymnasium over there.
Yes, thank you. Yes,
that's beautiful.
It's a lot of fun to be in there, and the kids always have a blast, and we we always make it available outside club hours too.
Oh yeah. So by the expansion though, that enabled you to accept more kids.
That's correct.
Because I knew you always had a considerable waiting list.
Yes.
The programs are so popular.
Right, we always have a waiting list. Before the gym, I would say that club was only housing 70 to 80 kids. With the gym, it became 120. And after the inspection, they put up the occupancy in the new building, and we can house 220 people. So if I get 20 to 25 staff and volunteers, then I can see closer to 160, 170 kids.
The need is so great.
Once all the phases are completed, we'll be able to really bust the doors wide open.
Yeah. Well, school has started. Did that change You were releasing space at Mountain View Elementary during the summertime?
Yes.
So during the summertime, it's a full-time program, but during the school year, it's an after-school program.
That's right.
Is that
Yeah,
correct?
so the after-school program starts right when all the kids get out. We're fortunate enough, the school district has us as a bus stop, and so all of our public schools and our Montessori schools are able to get to us quickly, and they stay with us till the evening, till 6:30, so that people can get the job done and feel comfortable. Yeah.
So where are you located? Prescott Valley, and tell us both campuses where they're located.
So Prescott Valley's on the corner of Robert and Luce, very nice prime piece of real estate next to the park and the skate park. And then Prescott's up on Aubrey Street, tucked away a little bit, and it's going to get its facelift in the next couple of years. Our capital campaign just continues to go further,
Right.
and both clubs are just going to be fantastic for the kids.
Well, it's going to be exciting for you to come into this type of growing situation where there's investment and support
Yes.
for our kids and providing the facilities for our kids to be safe after school.
Yeah,
the programming.
I'm very excited to be at the helm and make sure that the board and the community are all engaged in how we're taking care of these kids.
Well, let's go back to Dancing for the Stars. Let's give the dates and times and rest of the important information.
Definitely. So September 9th, the doors open at 6 and curtains at 7.
We didn't tell anybody where you moved. You've got a new location this year.
Yes, we're at
was
the
exciting.
wonderful, beautiful Yavapai College Performing Arts Center.
Yes.
We're on the big stage in town. We're very excited to utilize all of the technology there and have a great show and have all this availability for seating. So yeah, there's a lot of seats available on Friday.
Right.
That's
and it's what a nice night. Make a date night. Go downtown, have dinner. I mean,
Exactly.
$50 you'd be paying that to going to see a concert.
That's
and
right.
this is benefiting a local organization doing
Yeah.
so much good in our community. So.
It's taking care of our kids, and all these folks dancing. They're dancing for the kids. That's who the stars are. That's why we labeled it that.
You know, it's always so much fun is to see the different dances that they come up with. You
Yeah.
know, the pros that are,
Oh,
or
yeah.
the professional dancers that they're dancing with come up with that you see such a variety of different dances.
That's true. Yeah, we have professionals that know jazz and swing and salsa and couples choreography, and then we have a couple other that know group choreography. That's a little teaser that there may be potential group numbers. We don't know. But we're really excited for some of the pros that have been doing this since the beginning, like Zach Leonard and Carrie
Right.
Hughes, and then some of our new ones like Drake Caldwell and Sasha Naz right here in town. And,
Yes.
And so we're really excited to have the old and the new and this brand new batch of celebrities to get the job done.
Get the show. Okay, one real quick. Where they can get tickets? Website.
So the website is dancingforthestars.net, and everything's right there. You can vote for your favorite dancer, buy tickets to the show, or if you're an organization or even an individual for tax credit purposes, you can sponsor one of our dancers.
And support Boys and Girls Club Dancing for the Stars. Alex, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much,
Short
Marnie.
break. We'll be right back here on Community Connections.
We develop quality citizens who keep our core, our country, and our communities side by side on the winning side. Not for glory, but for honor. For a code that isn't written or spoken, but lived. It's what we do. It's who we are. It's the battle cry of our fighting spirit. Battles won. See all the battles Marines fight to win at marines.com.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
And welcome back to Community Connections. Like I said, this is a great show, and I'm very honored to have as my guest Dr. Olafunja Odunakin. He is a interventional cardiologist, Dignity Health YRMC. Welcome, Dr. O.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's so good to have you again and to meet again. We talked one time, we did radio a little while ago.
That's
but today we're going to talk about hypertension, high blood pressure, something that's one of the number one health issues affecting Americans today.
Absolutely. And worldwide too, not just Americans. It's the commonest risk factor for heart disease and cardiovascular issues in general. 1 in 5 people in the middle age have hypertension. And as you get to the elderly, 1 in 3 people have hypertension. And what's more, majority of people don't even know they have it. And so this year's theme for the World Hypertension Day is Know Your Numbers. It's important for everybody to know their numbers regardless of their age, because you also have hypertension in young people, and that could be from an even larger variety of causes. Hypertension in general is elevated blood pressure.
I'm sorry?
It's elevated blood pressure.
Okay.
Our blood pressure is an indication of the resistance the heart's pumping against. And as we grow older and our arteries age, our blood pressure tends to rise. And so anything over 140 over 90 is considered hypertension. And that's why it's important that we all know our numbers. And knowing your numbers is important because it gives you an opportunity to do something about it. Many people are in oblivion because they don't know that they have the condition, and so that makes it extra challenging. And what are the risk factors that predispose to elevated blood pressure? Obesity, which is fast becoming a public health issue in America because we don't exercise enough, we live sedentary lifestyles, our diet is fast becoming more refined foods rather than natural fruits and salads and vegetables, which used to be our diet back in the day. And so all of these things make us prone to high blood pressure. And when you throw in tobacco and alcohol, those even spice things up a little bit more. And so based on that, the things that we can do, both as individuals and as communities, to combat elevated blood pressure include making things more amenable for us to be able to exercise. So taking advantage of natural parks around us, increasing our activity levels, improving our dietary choices, making sure that we're more intentional about the kind of calories we consume and how much calories, getting off our chairs and our couches and get moving. Those are things that we could do to make sure that we stay healthy.
Okay, a lot of what you're talking about too, it may be somebody my age, fairly healthy, that does exercise, but the elderly have maybe some mobility issues and things like that. What could they do to type of exercise that they could do that would be beneficial?
And that's very important. Any form of exercise works. So for people with joint problems or the elderly who are limited in their mobility, water aerobics is actually an excellent form of exercise. Swimming, one of the things I've started to do now that I moved to Prescott is join the Y. And a lot of my favorite co-swimmers are actually people in their 80s. And looking at them, you would not know. They all look 20 years younger. And a lot of them do swim, and you get there at 5 in the morning, they're there. And so swimming is one of the exercises that's actually most friendly on the joints.
Right.
So water aerobics, swimming are things that, and just simple walking. Just getting off the couch and walking half an hour a day at whatever pace you can do makes a lot of difference.
When you talk about knowing your numbers, a lot of people, like you said, don't know. They're healthy. Maybe there's not a regular doctor visit or something like that where you always check the blood pressure. A simple buying a cuff.
Absolutely.
Your own cuff. You could buy it at any of our local stores, and it's simple enough to use, and you can keep track of it yourself if you don't have a regular appointment where you're following a physician.
And a lot of our grocery stores and CVS, Walmart also have free services where you can go in and check your blood pressure. So even if you don't want to buy a machine or you can't afford one, you can easily check your blood pressure every time you get your groceries.
Oh, I've seen those at Fry's. It has that little chair that you stick your arm in.
Just stick your arm in it and you get your numbers.
Right.
So it's critical that we know our numbers. And why is that key? Because untreated hypertension leaves us exposed to the risk of stroke, heart failure, chronic kidney disease, and these are major organs that, once they're hit, the effect on our lifestyle can be quite significant. Anybody who falls victim to a stroke can have a marked change in their quality of life. Same thing with people with end-stage kidney disease or kidney failure that have to go on dialysis. These are major consequences on our health, and that's why it's important to know our numbers.
To keep it so, and the best idea is to try and do it healthy.
Yes.
Obviously, if you're diagnosed with hypertension, there's
take your-
medications
Yes.
that you need to take.
There are medications. That's the good news, is
Right.
that it's treatable. The not so good news is that the treatment is for life for the most part.
Right.
Now, we've seen people who make drastic, not so drastic, but significant lifestyle modifications, lose weight, start to exercise, and get healthy, and their blood pressure improved to the extent that they can either come off medications or the number of medications that's required
Right.
to control their blood pressure starts to decrease. And that's also important because one of the factors that raises our blood pressure is untreated sleep apnea. And that's directly related to obesity. And so people will find out very quickly that as they lose weight, they need to use their CPAP machines less, their sleep apnea goes away, their blood pressure control becomes easier, they're on less medications, and some people, in some cases, can even come off medications. And that's why lifestyle modification is very powerful.
Yeah, it is. It is. And for all those variety of reasons, everything that I watch, all of the above, check off those boxes. What are you doing? And you're trying to take care of your overall health, because the ultimate goal is quality of life for as long as
Possible.
you have.
Absolutely.
And that's very important. So a lot of recipes, information can be found on YRMC Dignity Health's website. I've followed some of those that gives you healthier lifestyle ideas, so you can follow some of those. What day is World Hypertension Day?
It's in May.
It's in
I believe
May?
it's
Okay.
May 17. I may have to double check that.
Now, I'll just look at it because I'm going to make a note for next year to
right.
kind of continue this conversation.
And
but
it's an
to know
annual
the
event.
numbers.
The themes are different, but this year's theme particularly resonates. Know your numbers. We all should know our numbers.
Bottom line.
Absolutely.
Well, so appreciate seeing you. You've given us a wealth of information. I hope you all found it very interesting. Dr. Olafuncho Adunakan. With
Thank you
Dignity
so
Health
much.
YRMC, interventional cardiologist. We are so lucky to have him in our community, so thank you for joining me.
I am very privileged to be here. I am having a blast.
We'll be right back.
Thank you for having me.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
For patients with cancer like leukemia, lymphoma, and other life-threatening diseases, a cure exists with bone marrow transplant. More young people are needed because these donors provide the greatest chance for transplant success. Please take the first step of being someone's cure by logging on to bethematch.org for your free swab kit. Let's score a touchdown for more people who need a bone marrow transplant.
And welcome back to Community Connections. Now I'm joined by Catherine Anderson. She is, your title, Regional Economic Development Center, Yavapai College, and her title is Career Engagement Specialist. And we're here to talk about the Prescott Valley Job Fair coming up on Thursday, September the 8th.
Yes, just a few weeks away.
Okay, come on, let's talk about how we got started with this job fair here in Prescott Valley, holding it at Finley Toyota Center.
Well, we got started, we had some job fairs in other cities around town, and then we decided we wanted one in Prescott Valley. And it has turned into be one of our biggest job fairs that we hold, and we're very proud about that.
We have an excellent location, room to spread out, and plenty of opportunity for people to meet a variety of employers.
Oh yes, holding it at Findlay, it definitely gives us that opportunity to spread out. And we do have the ability for companies to meet with their potential employees and have those conversations and potential interviews right on site. We have that space at Findlay, and that makes it really, really nice.
Well, you have a track record of some good luck with this job fair, that there's actual hires have come out of the day.
Oh yes, we leave every time we have this job fair. By the time we leave, we know of offers that have been made before we leave. And then within the weeks following, we hear of more. So yes, this job fair is always beneficial to both the employers and the job seekers in our Quad City.
So let's talk a little bit about the specific industries that are represented by the businesses.
We have everything. I have a list right here. We have over 60 companies that are going to be in attendance. Everything is covered for education, manufacturing, hospitality, healthcare. We have military. You name it, that industry is going to be in attendance.
Wow.
It's just, and they're coming in every day. Like before I left to arrive here, I'm not kidding, within 5 minutes of getting in my car to arrive, we had 2 more registrations.
So with the it's different industries, but also varying positions within that particular company too, from clerical to mid-management.
Yes, there's everything. I always tell everybody, just because a company is known for being a manufacturing company or a hospitality company, that doesn't mean that's all they're hiring for. A manufacturing company could be hiring for an accountant. An education company could be hiring for a bookkeeper, or I guess that is the same field, but I mean accounting and bookkeeper. But you never know what somebody's going to be hiring for. We had one job fair, and it might have been at Findlay for this one, that it was a construction company hired for an IT person. But when you walk in, you think, oh, it's a construction company. They have nothing there that I'm capable of doing. I'm not qualified to go work for a construction company. They were hiring for an IT position.
So don't judge the business before you go talk to them.
Exactly. You need to stop, look at what the business is hiring for. And we do provide every job seeker a list of what every company is hiring for when they walk in that door. So there's no excuses. They can look and see, oh, that construction company is hiring for an IT person. That healthcare company is hiring for a bookkeeper. They know. And plus, we ask the companies to list on their tables what they're hiring for.
That's a good
So every job seeker should have that knowledge of knowing they're not just healthcare, they're not just accounting, they're not just this. They could have something for me. And again, when I say over 60 companies, we sat down, our student workers sat down for me this morning and added up every single position, over 900 positions available between those 60-something companies.
Wow.
That's a lot.
And one of the criteria, Catherine, is that they have to have those positions open now.
Open now.
They have to be actively hiring.
Actively hiring, or they are a company such as NACOG, Goodwill, Arizona at Work, that can provide support to companies or to job seekers that are looking for work. So if you're either providing jobs or have jobs that are open, or can provide resources to our job seekers to help them get
support services, things
yes,
like that.
Acquire those jobs, resumes, interviewing tips, provide assistance to our job seekers. So if they don't fit in those 2 qualifications, they shouldn't be at our job fair.
Yeah, it's not just to meet people.
Yes, it's not just to meet people.
We have a reason for being there.
Exactly.
Okay, so somebody might be watching and thinking, I want to get back out into the workforce. I didn't really know where to begin, so this is an opportunity. What would you tell that job seeker?
I would tell them, first off, you can contact me or you can go online to our website, find out what companies are going to be there, do your homework so you can find out, okay, so it is that manufacturing company, that education company, find out about what their qualifications are, what they're looking for, update your resume and have copies of your resume ready. And then the companies, like I just mentioned, including Yavapai College, the Regional Economic Development Center, Goodwill, Arizona at Work, NACOG, we can all help them get ready for their potential interviews, for meeting those companies. We have a new program at Yavapai College. It's called Interviewing. So we can help them prepare to interview in advance and practice over and over again. So if they're worried about, I got my resume, but I freeze. Well, no, we can help you with that. We can practice over and over again. And it's all done online. So they don't even have to come into our office. If they're in,
that's a great idea.
Yeah, if they're in Prescott and I'm like, oh, but I don't want to come in before that day, transportation's an issue. It's okay, it's all done online.
So
we
if you
can help
prepare,
you.
then your first meet is not such a cold call.
Exactly. And like I said, go online and find out who's going to be there in advance also, so it's not so much of a cold call. Because when you can go up to that company and say, so I found out that your history is you have this many employees, this is what you did last year, you've invested in the company, like Boys and Girls Club. Oh, you've had all these dances with the stars, and this year's event is going to be at the Yavapai College Performing Arts Center. It shows that company that you're really engaged, that you know about them, you want to be there.
It's that first impression too.
It's that first impression.
Which leads you to, how should they dress?
You don't want to dress in your pajamas or your sweatpants. We're not telling anybody that they need to come in a suit and tie, but they need to dress professional. And that could be a pair of jeans and a nice shirt. That's okay.
Absolutely.
But you know, if you have trousers or slacks, or maybe a lady would like to wear a nice skirt, but no jeans with holes, no shorts, no slippers. You want to look professional because a lot of these companies, it is their HR team, it is the hiring manager. So it's that first impression, and that person's going to go back and tell the person back at the office, you know, their resume may look really good, but you didn't see what I saw when they walked in that day.
You know, and you hate to say that, but it's true. And as somebody has done hiring, that does make a difference.
Yeah.
And again, it's not the suit and tie, it's the cleaned up, dressed, professional.
Dressed well.
Jeans are fine. In this day and age, this type of community, but a nice shirt with jeans that don't have holes in them.
Without holes. And I got to specify the without holes.
I know, because we see so many jeans with holes.
It is, because it's the trend right now.
Everybody's wearing them.
But not at a job fair. Not at a job fair.
So really quick, Catherine, give the website where they can find all this information.
It's www.ycredc.com, and we have a job fair page on there. You just click on events, and you'll find it right there. Or you can call me at 928-776-2008.
And thank you all for joining us on Community Connections. We'll be back in 3 weeks, but have a great September.